Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Retirement Railroad Friday Live and Mail Call. Hopefully, my sound is better today. I've worked on that and dug through some of my boxes and found my microphone, my good microphone. So I'm not relying on the bad microphones in the cameras themselves. So, anyway, let's. I'm just taking a look at something here real quick. And okay, that's that. All right. And of course, we are live from
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the wind.
Gotta do it, folks. Gotta do it. And my right hand, Mr. C&EI John, is also joining us from the great state of. Almost started it again. And so, John, how you doing today? John, you got to unmute your microphone. Still don't hear you, buddy. Do. What'd you do? What'd you do? Well, as John works through his microphone problems, our Malcolm in the Middle from Arkansas on the Cotton Belt.
And I'm riding on the Cotton Belt railroad line in the pitching, rolling rhythm and noise.
Now, Jason couldn't join us today,
hello.
so in his place, we have a special guest. Hey, Lynn, how you doing, buddy?
I'm special. I'm different.
Lynn McCurdy from the HD and MMC.
RC, yeah, you got it. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
It's still easier than the long name.
Yeah.
Did you have intro music for me?
I played Jason's music for you.
California, here I come. Where I started.
You're gonna get me a strike. You know that, don't you?
I tried to keep it short.
You got to be under 15 seconds.
Okay.
Strike. So, anyway, John.
You hear me yet?
Can you hear me now? Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what that was. It was working. So much for computers.
Operator error, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. I do a lot of that. So
no problem. So before we roll on here, let's go through our roll call. Last night at 8:45, Dwight Curley chimed in, Mr. Tuna Head himself.
Saw that.
The tuna cookie. All right. And then Lynn was right afterwards this morning at 10:26.
I was on last night because I made a comment about Dwight being a little early.
Oh, is that 10? Oh, yeah, it was 10:26 p.m. That was last night.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 3Dub, who's been on this morning as well, but he's in a meeting, so he'll join us here again in a bit. But he is supplying a glass of carbonated tuna juice, all right, to wash down the tuna cookie for Dwight. So, and then of course John and I have been sitting here gabbing for a while, and Lynn joined us. So, and then JB, Mr. John Medicki, has joined the crowd along with Hi. H&H Express model N scale from the Netherlands. And Heath has joined us. And he said our music has woke him up. And in case those haven't seen, if those that missed Sunday night, Sidetrack Sunday, it was fun
great
to watch. It was fun to watch. And I kept chiming in. He's got to fix that bottom shelf. You got to fix that bottom shelf. And finally somebody said, well, he knows about it. I said, well, he still has to fix it. So the glue wouldn't stick for the boards to reinforce for the feet because he was gluing to the painted side. So ultimately he did have to go and flip that board around and get some right size screws. And it was just fun to watch. And,
I missed that.
Oh my gosh, it was good.
And it was a real short video too. Just going and going and going.
In the instructions, John, this simple bookcase was supposed to take 30 minutes.
Yep.
Not an hour and a half later, I think it was, or hour and 45, he finally gave up because he didn't have the right size screws and had to finish it off camera later.
You mean it took him like an hour to get it out of the box, so he had the half an hour to put it together?
Yep.
Because he had to find the directions first in the box, right?
Well, if all that wasn't bad enough, now he's bought another bookcase, so we get to watch him do it all over again.
At least it's a smaller bookcase, so maybe it'll take half the time.
Yeah. All right. Floyd Robbins from Ontario has also joined us. Jack from the land down under from Oklahoma, anyway, Texas, and East Texas. And who else we missing? Who else we got? And we have JD has joined us also from Texas. All right, Grandpa Rails. Going to Bernard C is on track. Floyd Robbins, I already said Floyd from Ontario. Who am I missing? Dwight is back on. So he's gotten all the comments, saying his hellos. And he's off to fold his laundry. He's looking for help from somebody to fold his laundry for him. All right. Gus Hadley, the lunatic from Arno, is with us today. All right. I think that gets us all caught. I
was checking out John's lap warmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a pain. This is my daughter's cat that she didn't take to the Netherlands with her. So I'm going to put him in a box and send him to Hi so Hi can drop it off to her so she doesn't know it's coming.
John's cat heard about the tuna.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys heard what Johnny Carson said. I think it was Jaja, maybe even Ava Gabor, when she was on the show and had her cat with her. And Jaja or Ava said to Johnny, "You want to pet my pussy?" And Johnny said, "Yeah, move your cat."
Yeah.
That ranked right up there with. Yeah, go. We're not asking you to move your cat.
No, that's okay. I needed to move him. He gets hot there, you know.
Yeah. So, thank goodness we're not.
I know what he's wanting. He's really wishing I'd pass away so he could eat me, and that's why he's there.
We're not going to go there either.
Waiting. He's waiting.
All right. This live stream could go downhill real quick.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's okay.
So, I have a large number actually, of things to get into today.
Well, good.
And the first one, I got to do it. All right. Now, does everybody know what these things are?
They're packages.
I don't know if you were in Florida, I'd say something that washed up on the beach, but.
Kind of
okay, now you do. Yes.
Soft cloths?
They're what I grew up calling them handy wipes.
Okay, yeah, soft cloth paper towel wipe.
We've my wife and I went to a number of different stores, Walmart as an example, and some other grocery stores, and we'd go in and we'd ask people for handy wipes, and they go, "Well, what are those?" I'm going, "What? You don't know what handy wipes are?" And nobody has them.
Oh.
I ended up having to order these off of Amazon. I ordered 100. This is 50. I gave the other 50 to my wife.
And you know why they don't have them anymore, Steve? They lasted too long. You could reuse them and reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. And
well, they're excellent to clean track with.
Yeah. And probably if you want to put one on the track and put your engine's wheels on it and run it like that, clean it.
Yeah, it might. I'm not sure about that application. It may be too thick for that. I don't know. I'm going to try it. But,
yeah, that may work.
You know the track cleaning cars with the cylinder that rolls?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you wrap around the cylinder is these things.
Oh, okay.
And
just like this.
Anyway, wait. I gotta get back to it. Show me again, Lynn.
Just like this cylinder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a handy wipe.
Very nice. Yeah.
They go in a car like this.
Yep. And drop down in there. Yeah.
And I didn't like it like it was, so I put a caboose on mine.
Right. And you could
actually have two of them.
It's easy to do to box cars. All right. Just about.
I did a gondola. It's somewhere around
gondola. But something that hides the roller. So anyway, I just thought that was weird that you go in there and nobody in the store knew what the hell a handy wipe was.
Because you probably didn't talk to anybody your age or older.
You're absolutely right. Most of them were probably under 40.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. No. I remember my mom and dad, they always kept handy wipes by the sink, out in the laundry room. I mean, they were around because we used them all the time. Yep. But you didn't throw them away.
Yeah, they last a long time.
Yep.
Cool. So where did you get those?
Baby wipes are different. And soaked with stuff.
Yeah. These are more like a paper towel that has reinforcement bands crisscross through it.
But it's lint free. All right, and much stronger than a paper towel.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just that was my editorializing for the show was.
Where did you say you got those, Steve? Where did you get them?
It's a little known store. Not sure you have them out there or not. It's called Amazon.
It's a country south of here. Yeah.
No, that's a river.
I stole that. Yeah, I stole that from Heath. All right.
Okay.
Heath has been using that line and the same types of laughter. So blue shop towels, yeah, Bernard, those are excellent too. All right, because they're pretty much lint free if I remember correctly from my service station days in college.
However, these handy wipes will last 5 times, 6 times longer than a shop towel.
Yes.
Really?
Oh,
So, yeah,
shop
yeah,
towel?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of the linen shop towel.
Oh, you're okay. No, I was
Okay.
thinking more of the blue shop towels that they have now. It's a heavy duty paper towel.
Oh, that's just a paper towel. Yeah.
Yeah, but they last longer.
Well,
But
yeah,
not
it's
as
still a
not
paper
as good
towel.
as a handy wipe. Yeah, we're just old.
I don't know. This is more of a generic Floyd handy wipe. I just ran the name handy wipe and these came up and they look identical. So I bought it because I had them in bulk. So anyway,
Bulk was just that one package or multiple packages?
two of these.
Packages.
And how many are in each package?
This is 50.
So 100. Okay.
Yeah, I bought 100.
That would probably last me the rest of my life.
And I gave 50 to my wife, and I kept 50.
Welcome, John. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll go. John, you want to go through your update first?
Yeah. If we want to maybe start at the pictures.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because that'll show some of the process. I tried to take some good pictures as I went.
Like that one?
Like that one there. This is, I've been talking about I needed to connect my 2 outer ends of my W-shaped layout with a spline going from the 2 outside legs. This is, this is right that direction of me now. And I did have.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna. I can't do it the way I wanted to do it. I think I can do. Hang on. What's that do? Nope.
Oh.
How about that one? Oh, that ain't doing it either. That one?
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I did with this is it's a floor underlayment that I get that I mount on top of my framing for my foam to set on. It's only 5 millimeters thick, but I find with the foam it gives plenty of support. I don't have to worry about it. Plus, it's a lot cheaper than plywood. It's still expensive. It's not like it used to be where you could get it for $8 a sheet. But what I did was I took my table saw and ripped 2 sheets of this 5 millimeter plywood together, and I made it 3 5/8 inches tall, which is the height of my 1x4s plus the 5 millimeter on top of it. So the spline ends up right at the bottom of the foam, because I didn't want to have to put underlayment on top of the rails to make it on top of the spline to make it the same height as it was on the board itself. And on this end on the left side of the picture there, I just have a simple shelf bracket underneath of it with a 1x4 mounted on the shelf bracket that's butted up right against the bottom of the framing for the main center of the board. So it hasn't sagged a bit, and I've put more weight on it. So I can't remember how many passes I made, but the entire loop side is almost. It's probably 10 to 12 foot in length from this side all the way over to the other side. but it's nothing more than you keep applying additional layers. It's something like a modern day glulam beam, that they make for churches and stuff where they have nice curved beams. Expensive homes have them. They're actually very strong. So we can go to the next picture.
All right. My
Somebody's
dog
talking.
is, yeah.
Steve's stomach is growling.
Yeah.
No, that's my dog.
And this is where it goes past where we saw on the left side of that first picture and goes on over to the other end of the W, I'll call it.
Hang on, I gotta mute myself.
And you can go to the next picture, Steve. So here I was having a little bit of an issue where the original track I laid did not meet the spline the way I needed it to, so I had to tear up some of it. But I wanted to have an offset. In this picture, the spline is actually completed, and if you follow the spline towards the top of the picture, you'll see a block that's put in there. Well, I put spacer blocks on both sides of the spline to move the outside guardrail or fascia board another 3/4 of an inch out on each side to widen that out, instead of trying to make spline the hole all the way out to the width I wanted. And it seems to work fine. The track runs right on top of the spline, so I don't get any kind of flexing it whatsoever. And that's where I've got some of the new fascia board put on, which actually you can see right behind me. This black. It is not the framing of the layout like it was last week. Okay, next picture. Yep. And here I'm installing the track. I've got the road bed down. I've got my weights on my track. I was not happy with the material I got. Let me find this tube. I switched over to liquid nail extreme heavy duty, and it bonds in extreme temperatures. Well, I didn't have it extreme temperatures, but it's supposedly, and here's that. Don't buy that. I was not happy with that at all. It didn't really stick as well as I was using the Loctite something. What's it called? Loctite tight grip is much better for gluing down roadbed and track than this liquid nail extreme heavy duty. Don't buy it. It's worthless. But I finally got it to stick. The tight bond from Loctite you could take things off within an hour. It works that good. But this liquid nail, I had some places where it didn't even stick at all. And it's supposed to work on foam and plastic. But wood, treated wood, plywood, OSB, drywall, type bond, centerboard, foam board, and more. Yeah, no, the and more is not correct. So don't buy it. Okay, you can go on to the next one. And that shows some more of the fascia board that I got put up. Installing the track around the outside loop. I got my Ryobi. I don't know what they call those tools. They vibrate. They have a cutting wheel on them.
Yeah. Yep.
Those things are absolutely great for model railroading. That one there's a battery powered. I do have a corded, but I like the battery power because I can just walk around with it. And the blades, especially if you're just cutting foams, the blades will last forever. Now I've cut a lot more with that blade, and I need to get a new one. But if you get those, don't ever throw those blades away because you can actually grind off the teeth and put a bevel on them and make them into scrapers. They work great for scraping off paint, and they do make scraper blades for them. But I like make my own blades because I'm a cheap guy. So I use them until I can't use them no more.
John, there's a couple of different adapters that you can get for them. It can also be like a right angle ratchet, almost like an impact. I mean, it doesn't go like a real fast drill, but if you got a stuck bolt or you want to take lug nuts off a car, that'll work.
Well, not this one. This one just vibrates back and forth.
I know, but there's an adapter that goes on the head that you can use it as a ratchet.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look for that. I got a lot of Ryobi tools.
Yeah, those are great.
Huh?
It's a good tool. It's a good one.
No. Yes. In fact, here she comes, David. In fact, I have a lot of Ryobi tools because I find that they're pretty good. Of course, I used to work at Home Depot, and that's a Home Depot product, and I'd always, when I worked in the hardware section, I'd always ask the person, what are you planning on doing this? Are you are you using this for a commercial, or are you just a homeowner? And for a homeowner, these tools are fantastic. I've only had one tool go bad, and that was the little air compressor. But I had used the heck out of it. It had a lot of use, so I had to replace that one. But all the tools work great. Yeah, that's okay for sanding. Yeah, you can put a sander on these too.
Yeah, I got the sanding head. I got the big
But
head.
this is what I meant by the end comes off, and you can put an adapter on this as the other.
Well, I don't know that my Ryobi does that. I don't think it has a changing head.
Yeah, I don't think my DeWalt does either.
I don't even know where I put it.
But regardless, there's a lot of just this piece that you can change. I found it at, it wasn't a dollar store. In fact, just heard last night they're going out of business, 99-cent store. And it was a whole selection of like what you're using, John. But it also had one that was like a fiber, almost like a emery board. That you could grind and do all kinds of weird. They're very versatile.
Yeah. Okay, Lynn. Yeah, I guess this one does come off. I've never tried to. I'll have to look for that then.
Yeah.
But these are great tools. They're excellent for a hobby. And this one has the round blade. I like this one because a lot of times I use this little side section over here for areas I can't get into. And then, of course, they have the straight blades. They have the flared blades. They're set up for different holes. I can move this inward, but I always keep it on the outer hook because that gives me more cutting space. But boy, I use the heck out of this thing. They're great.
My DeWalt does not come apart.
I'm gonna have to look online and see if I can find the attachments for that, Lynn. Thanks a lot.
So, John, are you going to answer Floyd's question?
Oh, I didn't see Floyd's questions. Hey, John, can you see the door and section going to a hinge gate? No, it's not hinged. It's a duck under. That's my bedroom down there. my office or my train room is in between my laundry room and my bedroom, so you have to go through the train room to get to the bedroom. But it's just me now, so it doesn't matter. Here's like an overview. This almost shows the entire layout.
That's
Um,
nice.
I'm currently working on getting track to my roundhouse that's going to be there in the middle. Um, it's turned out pretty good. My minimum curves on this is 27 inches. The outer curves are 30 inches. So I got to find a blanking chip for my 210-2, which I need to run next and see how well it does. Um, it should do fine because I believe the paperwork on the 210-2 say they will go through a 22-inch curve, but
Yeah, they did.
both
That's what it says.
Steve and I found out that is not completely true because I had 23-inch curves on my first layout or my other layout, and the front truck would come off occasionally on the 210-2. So,
Yeah, and if you have any curved turnouts,
hmm
uh, they those curved turnouts will have, even if it's a large radius, it'll have a number six will have a a portion of it will be at 18 inches. So
well, now I have installed two curved turnouts. One is if you look in this current picture in the center section up by the window, there's the white ice house up there. There's a number 7 curved turnout put in there, which the
looks like there's one in the
interior.
lower left too.
Well, there is now, but you got something over the picture there. Uh, you got a comment over the picture. Yeah, that's the one I had to install because the radius didn't quite match up to what I needed, and the turn was going to be tight. So I actually pulled up that track there and reset it to and put in that number 7 curved turnout. Which luckily, when I bought the curved turnout for up by the ice house to go into my roundhouse, I bought two. Now I didn't need two at the time, but I bought two because I wanted to get over the $100 for free shipping. So I ended up needing it for a change. That worked out good.
But at Iron Planet Hobbies with Heath's discount code, you don't have to be over $100.
I'm not sure about that, Steve.
I'm absolutely 100% positive.
Okay.
All right.
It kept.
Because I've got the invoices to show it.
Well, I show. Well, all mine have been over $100, so I can't really say much to that. But it
Oh, that was
it it works. I got them anyway, and at least I had ordered two because I needed that second one. In this one, you can also see that I've got all my fascia board put on. Um, it's higher on this outside edge here and over the two duck under positions, and those duck unders are they're about 40. They're about 50 inches high, so I can duck under it real easy. It's no problem whatsoever. And this is the same height that I had my train board layout in my old house, and I had bigger duck overs unders. I had to actually duck under my center section, so that was 4 foot of ducking under. Here it's just 5 inches wide that I have to duck under, but for me, it's no problem. I just, even with my bad back, I can go right under them. Okay, we can go to the next picture. That's my dogs. Well, they're not mine. The big one is my daughter's, and the nether one, the small one's my son's. Here's showing a little bit more of that curve on that spline.
Who pays for the dog food?
My daughter buys dog food every once in a while.
Who pays for the majority of the dog food?
I do.
They're your dogs.
Yeah, 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 and they sleep with me at night too. So,
That's like my daughter's cat. That
mm.
it was like 15 years old, I think, when it finally died. And of those 15 years, we had it for 12. But it was my daughter's cat.
Yeah, well, I've got my daughter's cat too. That was the one that was on my chest earlier, and then I got my son's cat. So I have the only animals I have are chickens, which possum killed one last night. So now I only have 3 hens and 1 rooster. I gotta get some more hens.
See, I'm
But
not the only one at less than $100 from Iron Planet Hobbies with free shipping. So
okay,
Bernard can attest to it as well.
well, Heath, I want to thank you for your code there of human because I have saved a lot of money. I think I got I got almost $22 off, and this last one I got 12 something off. And plus, what I like is he doesn't charge sales tax,
Right. So
which
far.
so far, and that is good because when I order from Zitniks, I still have to pay the 9% from Tennessee here, and that adds up. Okay, next
Absolutely.
picture.
All right.
And here is the completed loop, and as you see, I've painted my new fascia board with it's called uh, Onyx Black.
And it's got a train.
And there's a train on it. Yes, train does run. Goes all the way around, and currently it's just DC. I'm still having problems finding some of my connections for my DCC system. After 2 years, I still can't find them. I may have to just bite the bullet and order some, but my DCC system is out, but I need to hook it up. I'm still, after I get all the track laid, I'll start doing the droppers so I can have power to all the sections. But I'll tell you what, I've run this whole layout on a real small DC controller, and it powers the entire track. And I rarely have any spot, even on the turnouts, that some are isolated, some are not.
Did you
I
solder
haven't.
your connectors?
I did not solder my connectors this time. And the reason I didn't this time was hopefully this is a temporary layout until I get my big shed. So I want to be able to reuse track or just pick up whole sections and move it in, because that side piece there on the right is the width that I would have the outside of the layout, and I'll have a peninsula down the center just like I do here. But this is showing some more of the
You got your
completed.
M48s there to the right.
Yep, sitting there on the pad, the concrete pad, which is nothing more than like 1/4 inch foam that I put down, and that strip going in between track is also just foam, and it's pretty good height. I'm also using it to set up my buildings a little bit higher to make sure the box cars are at the right elevation for unloading.
It looks pretty cool. Like it looks like that the spline area there is almost like it's floating.
Yeah, it's basically a shelf. Really.
Yeah, I know. Now that you have it painted, the fascia painted,
Mm-hmm.
looks like it floats out there. So
It does.
Hey, Sparky.
And then I added in a piece of foam in between the end of the actual board and the outside of the spline. And I'm gonna
Most
make.
of us would kill for your shed, Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky. That's about what I'd like to get. If I can afford it. I did talk to a
Isn't
guy.
Sparky's concrete or concrete block?
Yeah, but the size is about perfect.
Yeah.
Um.
Yep. I think that's the last picture there, John. Let me see.
Okay.
Yep, that was your last picture.
Okay. Okay, and then I
So
can't do
why
that.
don't you hang on? Return me. All right, and go back to that. John, you want to show us a train actually moving?
Sure, sure. I got. Unfortunately, I still only have one camera, so I got to move this one and undo it. But I did put an extension on it, so I can. There's the train. It's got a M47 on it, one of my military loads, and there we go.
Very good.
So in a matter of almost a week and a half,
A
both
week.
John, basically within a week and a half, both John and I got trains running. So
And that engine there is um, via VO 660 that I got on eBay for I don't know $60. It's a Stewart Hobbies. I'm getting to where I love those Stewart Hobby engines. They are made well and they run good. A nice sweeping curve there.
a lot of those have Cato drives in them, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
believe it does. But yep, she's running.
All right,
And
cool.
I have tested the engine and the cars on every turnout. I don't have any problems with turnouts. I have only had one derailment, and that was because one of my couplers didn't get set up high enough and it caught on a turnout, which has been corrected. And yeah, we are running. And
That's
if you see the white PVC there that I use for making my curves when I'm just freehanding them, uh, that's where the track is going to come in from that curved turnout down there by the big piece of white paper, and it'll come into my roundhouse, which is, of course, here in the center. And that's going to be an 18 stall. And I've got the right distance out now from the center of the turntable. As you maybe can see, those tracks are extending out into the turntable. That was my whole issue about getting the roundhouse the right distance from the turntable. The I guess the guy that this was a secondhand roundhouse, the six stall there. I guess he only had the 90-foot turntable, which sets the roundhouse sets farther away from it than it does the 110, and I didn't realize that. So, but now this section here is that's how far it's supposed to be away from it. 3 and 22. Oh, what is it? 20. It's an odd number. I just had to set it as close as possible. I actually did a conversion from the fraction to a decimal point to get the exact distance that it was supposed to be. And I marked it on a piece of board where I made a notch so I could draw the circle around the outside edge of the layout. But that's where we're at, and I'm very happy to actually have that connected. It only took me 2 years to get to this point. And the majority of the work was done this last week. But I got in the mood, and when you get in the mood, you can get things going. And yes, it
Yep,
does go
absolutely.
backwards. It does go backwards too.
Cool.
So
Well,
anyway,
Lynn sent me some pictures as well. Did you get anything mail call at all, John?
No, I had to. Yeah, my mail calls last week or last month sort of did it. It did it for this month too.
Well, Lynn sent me a couple of pictures, and let's bring those up.
Come on, camera.
There we go, and let's make it like that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like that, or like that. There we go.
At the far end, where you see all of the trees and stuff way out there, that's an existing 6-foot called the Rolling Hills. There's a herd of buffalo down at the end, up in the trees. There's deer, bear, all kinds of weird stuff up there. The club has a standard of the 2 main lines, the one in front and the second one. The third track you see is a runaround.
Mm-hmm.
What I've added on to it, and these are secondhand modules. And we in the club, somebody doesn't want something. Anybody want it? So I picked these 2 up. That's why the green doesn't match, but it'll be blended in eventually. But I wanted to get the track in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got a crossover up front, and then the major crossover, it goes to what we call the 20. That's 20 inches to the back. At the shows, most of the time people come out, they just want to see the trains going around doing the NASCAR.
Yeah.
But like Heath and a lot of the others are wanting to get into the op sessions. So the back 20, and you'll see a siding way back there, hook up with different modules, all the newer modules in the last 5 or 6 years. So you can do point to point. And some of my videos I posted, you'll see them where they're picking up cars, dropping them off. We have a sheet, nothing fancy like Heath and all of his tablets, but a piece of paper, pick up car such and such and drop it off here. So the guys that get tired of running trains, or if too many are running on the outside, they can do the backtrack. And one of the issues we've had is if you want to take a train from the main to the back, you literally had to pick it up and put it back there. So that's why the big, whichever direction goes. Boy, this is weird. Anyway, going across there. Eventually, this is going to be a ghost town. And the building or structure up front is a mine, because out here in the desert, we've got a lot of those all over the place. But I've been in conversation with Jason Jensen Trains. And he's switched over to N-scale lately. So our conversation has been, if you look right behind me on the Twin Peaks, you don't need to enlarge it or anything. HO, you've got buildings that are HO, then you got buildings that are HO, then you got buildings that are HO. And they're all considered HO scale. But some of the big ones out here on this narrow 2-foot module, they look oversized. So he's looking around and gave me some link for some kits and so forth that are in scale, but they're a little larger than your regular in scale. So, and then all of my buildings that I work on, just like Jason, I distress them, beat them up. There's cracks in the walls. There's windows missing. And that will be the ghost town back there. And then, of course, mini prints. I got a lot of those. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. This has been like a 3-year project. And it doesn't seem like much, but like what John just said, I go in spurts. Well, for a while, I'll just look at it. It's too cold outside. It's too hot outside. The wind's blowing too hard coming under the garage door. And then all of a sudden, the spirit moves me, and I'll go out there and do a whole bunch. I didn't share with Steve, but I did some videos where I'm actually running a DCC engine on all of the tracks, all the way across, back and forth. Turnouts, everything else works. And down there at that major intersection, our DCC guru, aka a NASA engineer, showed me how to hook it up. So when the turnout is thrown, a red light comes on, and we'll have a signal light set down there. So you'll still run a red light, but that'll give you a little bit of a heads up. If a train's going down the track in the direction you see right here, and you see that red light, you know that turnout is against you.
Yeah.
Anyways, That's pretty much it.
That's the same principle as what I'm my green and yellow lights embedded in the track. So yellow is thrown and green is closed. So
Now,
But
Lynn,
these will be above the track, though. They're regular signals.
yeah, I didn't want to go that route on this layout, but I will in the future. So
now, Lynn, here's a question for you. How many club members do you have, and how many individual modulars do you have?
Okay, right now we gained 2 members after losing several for a different number of reasons. Right now we're at 18.
Okay.
Now, a better question would be how many club members have modules?
Okay, sorry. Let's do it that way.
Which is probably right now 16. But one of the new members, just like those that we just saw there are secondhand, one of our members about a year and a half ago had in the middle of the day had a heart attack and died.
Oh.
And his widow donated all of his stuff to the club.
Mm-hmm.
So different ones of us are taking over his modules. One of the new members, it's going to take 2 of the new module or 2 of the previous owner's modules. Now, when you say how many modules per member, okay, you just saw 3 modules right there.
Mm-hmm.
At the next show, I'm also putting up the cement plant, which is 12 foot long. I have a 2-foot mining module, plus some older ones, which I just sold to another member. We have 1 member in the club. We were joking about it last night. Nobody knows. He doesn't even know. But in the neighborhood of over 100 feet of modules.
Oh, my word. Yeah.
And that's the guy that has the 2 aircraft carriers, the 2 battleships, the space shuttle, a Civil War diorama, which is 12 feet. He's got a NASCAR racetrack, which the cars are like the old slot cars. And you can sit there and run cars as the trains go by. He's got stuff that he doesn't even remember because last night he said, I'm missing 3. And one of the other members said, oh, didn't you leave them at somebody's house and they moved? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's where they went. So, yeah, he had a storage place that he was paying $265 a month for. And I worked a deal with my son who has property out in the desert. He inherited an old U-Haul truck, a big one, and a storage container. He has enough modules. He filled the U-Haul truck and half filled the storage container. That's how much. That's too much.
wow.
I remember you showing, I think you had a video of one of your setups that you posted, and it looked rather large when you were doing it, but I never could get a full view of the entire layout.
It's hard to do.
Yeah,
we tend to go on the large side. We have gone small. We had an invitation years ago for a historic building in a nearby town that had been a railroad building, and then it became a school and so forth. And they gave us a room, and we were able to squeeze in using the small corners. We have a total of 10 corners. The small corners, which are 4 foot, and putting a 2-foot module in between. So that was 8, and then a 4 foot on the other side. So, and just barely enough room for people to walk around it. Our largest was in 2008 at the National Model Railroad Association convention in Anaheim, across the street from Disneyland, which was literally 2 large setup connected with a yard, looked like a pair of eyeglasses. Outside measurements were 100 by 70. And then yards, literally these yards went through the middle plus the connecting yard. It took us 3 days to set it up. And we had 2 other clubs helping us. So we had a total of almost 25 people, 3 toy haulers, plus individual trailers and trucks. That was a mess.
I can imagine. I know our last, my train club that's currently doesn't have any place to set up. We had the train club from Miami, Ohio come down, and they set up in a church's basketball court. And it was pretty impressive. It was a very large layout. Of course, it was U-shaped, but still, they filled up that basketball court, and some of the modulars were extremely well done. I mean, it looked like it was more of a stationary um, web layout because of the detail that they had on there. And I'm sure it's hard to transport these things all the time and not damage stuff.
Yeah, that happens.
And I mean, these look primo. It was a good train meet, even though we didn't have it in our actual club area, but because we're still looking on that. And unfortunately, I heard from one of my friends that used to work down in Zitnick's, his train club in Johnson City ran into the exact same problem. They got kicked out of the
Yes.
spot they were in, and now they are looking for a new place.
And we've tried to find a place, and it's financially it's not feasible. And if you rent, you take the chance anytime that you could get booted.
Yeah. And that's what we were doing. But, they had been there for 22 years. And they were only paying like $800 a month. Well, everything we're looking at now, half the size of what we had is now $2,200 a month. And, we just went, our dues for a year is only $30. So since we were in a little outlet mall, it was people coming in, giving donations is what paid all our bills.
Yeah.
Well, the places that we're looking at now are not in shopping centers or a mall. It's standalone buildings. How do you get the people in? They'd have to just be coming to see us. Now, we had a lot of people that just came to see us. They didn't even go through the mall, but it's difficult, and we're still working on it, but we're going to keep going.
I'd mentioned
Hey, Dave at Crooked River has never met you before, John. So, Dave, this is C&EI John, Mr. John Linton.
Formerly of St. Petersburg, Florida. Now I'm in Sparta, Tennessee. Rocky Top.
And then Chris wanted to know if I had a track plan of my layout, and of course, there it is. And I can slide it back and forth so you can see. And it's located right above me. It's a shelf layout, and I'll switch to that. And it's right there. And I can turn the motorman on, and it will go back and forth on the. Whoop. Time to clean the. I've been doing some ballasting, so. Been doing ballasting, so the track needs some cleaning. The wheels need cleaning, so.
Yeah, I got to get the droppers in and paint my track, and then I'm going to work on ballast.
Yeah, it's coming back.
And I'm going to be working on additional cameras also, so I don't have to move
Chris,
this one around.
That center of the center track of the three track main line is switchable from normal DCC operation to the motorman here. All right, and right now it's on motorman, which automatically makes it go back and forth. It controls lighting, it controls the horn and bell, so delay times, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else? Any other questions? I think that was the last of the questions. Sorry to interrupt. I do want to, because I do have a question. Something there. There.
And for those who don't
Anyway.
know, Steve and I used to live close to each other. I was in St. Petersburg and he was in Riverview. So we would run trains, well, as my wife would say, every weekend.
Every weekend. I
It
think
wasn't every. It was
over a
close to every
6 month period. There was only 2 weekends we didn't run trains over a 6 month period, and that was
Yeah.
because it was the Christmas holidays.
And I started watching Steve's YouTube videos, and one time I just made a comment. Hey, Steve, you're close to me. Let's get in contact. I don't have a running layout yet. Let's run trains on your layout. So, if
And
you
I
got
had
people,
and I had
close
just
to you,
gotten phase 2 operating, so I had a lot of issues to work through. But John helped me work through a lot of that stuff.
yeah.
So anyway, we still have a number of packages.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Steve, I'm gonna need to get going today. I've got to take my son someplace, so I'm gonna have to watch this on the replay. But
All
Lynn,
right. Well,
it's good
thanks for
talking to
joining.
you again. It's been a
John.
long time. Always enjoyed talking with you. Always enjoy seeing that beautiful mountain back there. Um, that's just beautiful. Yep. And if I remember right, you have in-scale buildings up on the higher points on that mountain.
No, those are
No,
all HO.
there's all
That's what I'm
HO.
saying. Some of the HO are small and then they get bigger. So I put the big ones up front and the little ones in the back. So
Okay.
it's a little of a
Okay. Well, I will say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you next week.
okay.
Y'all
All
have
right.
a good day. Bye now.
Before I get it, bye, John. Before I get into the pictures, into the packages, one of the packages, the next package, has to do with what I installed this week up there. Behind this light here, you can see a floating shelf. And on top of that floating shelf is the lighting control unit, which is nothing more than an exterior landscape light, power supply, and photo cell. So that it connects to a 12-volt bus line underneath the layout here. And let me switch that back. All right, to there. And here's where it comes out at right now. But what I need to do is get that installed up underneath before I can put this control board up on its shelf. So what I had to do is normally I used to use MDF with copper tape and then just solder the electrical connections for the lighting onto that. Up underneath there, trying to solder would be difficult at best. So I elected to go with a different option. And there's the perforation. It says tear at perforation. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do here. There we go. And when in doubt, go back to the old method of doing things. So I just bought a bunch of terminal strips. With jumpers that I can install underneath, spaced out underneath, where I can just do the screwdriver connection. So that, and right now I don't have any structures for lighting anyway, so it's nothing time sensitive. But other than to get it up underneath there so I can get the control board up off the workbench. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's this board here. All right. Or that monstrosity has to get up on the shelf.
Steve, why don't you make yourself larger so we can see a little better?
I can probably do that, Lynn. Like that.
There you go.
And since I'm electronics is all tested out fine now, so I'm good to put this board up once I get that lighting bus and all of the switch indicator lightings up in there. So those are the two big projects that I'm working on now. Okay. And so then the next item, and we need to do this in the order in which I received them. So another package from that little known store.
Secondhand store? Yeah.
Yeah. Little known secondhand store that most people don't take advantage of simply enough. So what I got, this is something I saw, I think it was Heath using, and I said to myself, well, I need one of those. So what I did was, I've got over on the other bench. Where's my other bench picture? Oh, right there. That's the other bench. But you can't see what I wanted to see. Anyway, I know what I can do. I can take this camera here, and I can do this. Make everybody dizzy. All right, like that. And I can say, Alexa, lights on. And the lights come on over there on the other bench.
Magic.
Now, if we look and you can closely, you can see my cursor, my mouse cursor, moving back and forth right there, just to the left of the paint booth. And that's my soldering station, my soldering iron and stuff. So, but that is a royal pain. I mean, that's great for doing soldering on the bench, but I've got two benches. Plus, track soldering up top. And so I wanted something for over here. So what I ended up getting, and again, I think I saw this on, I think I saw Heath using one. But what it is a 5-volt cordless soldering iron. And so I said, I got to try it. I think it was $20 or something like that. And if it saves me from walking back and forth and squeezing between the car and the garage door or whatever, so be it. Because I can set this puppy up over here and be good to go, So I'll get it charged up, and next week I'll let everybody know how it works.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of different models at that little known A to Z store. So this is just one. I wanted one that was rechargeable, of course, and that had a stand, a charging stand. So we'll see how it works. It'll be also, I'm sure it's going to work, but it'll be interesting to see how long time wise for a charge. So anyway, that's pretty. Yeah. And JD wants to tell Alexa to start the power saw over on the other bench. Actually, you can't do the power saw unless you tape the switch down on the power saw. You can't do it. However, that said, there is a industrial power strip, big long one. Like there's one. Well, if I switch this, back on the back over there. All right, there's a big long power strip. All right, I think it's like 5 feet long or something like that. There's one of those on the other side, and that is hooked up to a smart switch that can be turned on and off using the A girl. And the reason I have it on that thing is so that I can turn that power switch off from this side of the room, because the soldering iron's over there, and I can tell by looking from the garage door whether that power strip is on, because it's indicator lights. So I can tell the A girl to turn that power strip off. That way, even if I happen to leave the soldering iron on, which also has a built-in time delay turn off switch, I believe in redundancies, especially when it comes to safety related things. So anyway, Heath made it back. Heath, was it you that had the let me switch it back. Wasn't it you I saw with the cordless soldering iron a couple months ago? I decided to get one and try it out. So I think it was you that I saw it have one. So I'm giving you the credit for it anyway, or I'll blame you if it doesn't work with it. Crap. So anyway, take it any way you want. Okay. So now, what was it last week? I showed that I had a light kit. That I received a light kit for the Rock Island bi-level commuter car that Floyd, I think it's Floyd, likes so much. Yep, Floyd's the one. And I have not installed it yet. I'm waiting to get all the parts I need. I got to strip that down. Has anybody stripped down factory paint? I mean, I've used isopropyl alcohol to do it on the Amtrak versions of these commuter cars, taking the stripes off. But I don't know whether I can take all the red and yellow and then the white roof off using IPA or not. I'm going to give it a try. If not, I can always go back and prime it, use a gray primer. And he's just saying IPA and an ultrasonic cleaner. Good to know. I've got an ultrasonic cleaner, but it ain't big enough for that. So we'll have to see. All right, I'll see if I can get a hold of John 2618. I'm not too worried about it. I can always gray primer it before I repaint silver. Anyway, so I got a lighting kit for that. I've got people ordered because there's an interior in that car already. So I put people in it, get it lighted, and then that car is ready to go. However, that Concours coach in front of it does not have an interior nor lights. Now I have everything I need to put lights in it. Those that remember, I've been lighting all my passenger trains, and I still have plenty of the circuit boards and light strips to do it. But I didn't have an interior. So that other store that nobody knows about called eBay does have people that do interiors, all right, for different makes of passenger cars. So that's what I have here. Supposedly it's an interior to fit that Concours miscellaneous railroad company. Excellent. Duchikis for, I don't know what the hell that means. So anyways, I thought somebody was just printing these things off from a 3D printer, and they may be, but boy, it's a pretty fancy packaging, you know. I thought it was a mom and pop kind of deal, but this looks more real, for lack of a better term. Lynn, you still with me?
I'm right here.
All right. Okay. All right. So it's got some instructions, and it's 2 pieces. Boy, it's okay. And yeah. All right. I'll have to try putting them in there. If I don't cut myself. All right. So here we go. It's 2 pieces, and that makes it easier to put in the car, I'm sure. And what I was wondering, boom, 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 boom. All right, okay, so it overlaps. Yeah, right like that. Okay, cool. So I can put somebody in the bathroom on the toilet. All right, and it looks like the door's open on it. Cool. So, see the 2 pieces. And I'll try to get this into that car. I'll have to do some painting on it. Cool beans. All right. All right. And finally, I think I got one more package left. This one arrived. And one of the reasons I asked Lynn to join us today okay.
You must be reading something.
Yeah, I'm reading Heath's comment about the Pencil Smart mini portable soldering iron.
Well, I thought maybe you were reading about what I posted about. I have some fluid that'll melt the car.
Yeah, I have enough of that. MEK will do a real good job at that. One of the reasons I asked Lynn to join today is those that tuned in last week may have heard the discussion on vehicles and how many vehicles it takes on a city scene. and Lynn said he had some old vehicles and to get in touch with them. And sure enough, I got a package from Lynn. All right. And via somebody named Mahid Nasser. Who's that? Anyway, but this came from Lynn, and we'll dig into it. And this community is incredible.
Well, for those that watch Sidetrack Sunday, a few months back when John was on with Skull River. Yes. He was building his diner and he needed some cars. So I sent him some cars, but he only wanted a limited amount to fill his parking lot. And then when I heard you talking about, so these were some of the cars left over. There was another package that got sent out, which should be arriving today at the Train Freak.
Ah, okay.
I'm looking at all this stuff up here. You can't see, and I'm not going to shake the camera, but I figure if I got boxes of stuff that I'm not using, it's just sitting up there collecting dust, I should share it. And that's what you got, plus some extras.
Hello, Toodle from Gratunia. I think this is the first time I've seen you, but hey, welcome. And I was getting around to saying this community is incredible. John, C&EI has given me things, and I've given stuff to John, and Jason, the train freak, just said he needed this or that, and I've sent stuff to him, and everybody shares. And Lynn, you're probably the most generous of the bunch, because every time I turn around, you're sending something to somebody, and this is the second box that you sent me. You sent me a CB&Q caboose and a couple other cars.
A couple of trucks, dump trucks.
Yeah, a couple of dump trucks and stuff. Yeah.
Those I was going to deliver in person, but because of life events, didn't make it.
Right, exactly. So anyway, I got this box of stuff from Lynn, and the first thing is a baggie with a number of different cars, and it's got, this looks like a little McLaren or Lotus.
Yeah, I found that while I was looking for something else.
Let me see if it says what it is underneath. No. Oh, it doesn't say what it is. All right, and then there's this looks like a little Spider. I forgot who the manufacturer of it would be. And
but you literally requested older vehicles.
Yeah, I did, and all these are. These are all 1960s so far. And here's a Mercedes. And
this is going to take a while, isn't it?
Yeah, because we're going to go through every one of them. This looks like a little Vega. Chevy Vega.
Now, the bag, Steve, was just a bag that I found, and amongst other things, and I just threw that in the box at the last minute as a filler.
Yeah, this is like a 68 or 69 Chevy Camaro, ragtop. Here's a Cobra GT.
Now, everybody's got to have a Cobra. I think I sent one to Nissy also.
Oh, I got a Barricade in there.
Who knows what was in that bag? I don't even know what was in there.
Oh, here's another Chevy ragtop Camaro. Again, late 60s. 65 Mustang. I think this is another Camaro, but they're all different colors. Ooh, I got a train worker guy. All right. And the last one from the bag is a little Carmen Gia. All right. So that's the bag. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's more. All right. And, Oh, we have a Concord shanty caboose, or is it trackside shanty?
A trackside building.
Is it
That was a caboose.
made from a caboose?
Hopefully there's not too much dust on that, because I think I got that some 20 years ago.
So that'd be cool.
Figure you can find a spot for it. If not, you can send it over to John.
Oh no, absolutely. I'll find a spot for it. Oh, and here. Oh, wait a second. I thought these were just dunnage. All right.
No,
They're not.
this is the good
They're
stuff.
not. Here we go. All right. Here's an old. Don't ask me what model, but it's like a 30s or 40s.
Now, when you said old cars, that's what I had in mind.
Yes, they work. And there's a number of these. Okay, what's this one? This is another. Let's see, does it say? Doesn't say what it is though. Could be a Willys, 41 Willys, maybe. Not sure. All right, that's 2. Oh boy, there's a bunch in here. Oh yeah. This looks like a Lincoln. Holy moly!
Folks in chat,
Ooh, a
this is
taxi
going to take
cab.
a while.
Taxi cab. I always need taxi cabs. If you got like my Union Station, they would back in the 60s, you'd have taxis everywhere. And here's another like 41 Chrysler, maybe 39 or 41. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Oh. And this is a resin. Again, it's an older, looks like almost like a Navy staff car from World War II. Oh yeah. Another. These will all go great.
Yeah, I thought you could find a use for them.
Oh yeah. Anytime you're modeling 50s and 60s, these work out excellent. Another one. I got cars everywhere. Cool. Another one. All right. And
Stay tuned in chat. Wait till he gets to the bottom of the box.
yeah, I see it already. All right. And now for the pièce de résistance. All right, I can't believe this. This is so cool. My goodness.
Now, where is Steve now? What state? Something about Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma.
And what are they known for?
Oil. Oil, and more oil.
Now, that is a really old box, a really old kit. I have no idea the condition of what's in it. I did not inspect it, but I figured you'll find some use for it.
Oh, yeah, it's a laser cut kit. Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Cool, Lynn. This is incredible. Simply incredible. All right. Man.
I got a question for you, Steve. I kind of know the answer, but just to clarify and to share with those in chat.
Uh-huh.
How long has it been since you moved?
We closed on the sale of our house in Florida on October 27th and moved in here. We closed on the 1st and actually moved in on the 3rd of November.
So you've only been, what, 5 months?
Yes.
All those in chat, look what all he did in that garage in 4 months.
Actually, 3 months. I didn't start on the
I'm sorry.
on the layout. The layout's 3 months. Okay, the garage.
He's got a layout. He's got tools. He's got microphones, cameras. He's got the whole thing going. It took me 3 years to do those 2 little 4-foot modules.
I'm not saying that they're of any quality like yours, though, Lynn.
Well,
I mean, yeah, the big thing, my garage in Florida, all right, had pegboard all the way around and everything and all the tools and so forth and so on. But as far as a workbench goes, it was rather limited. And the workbench for mile railroading was only 30 inches by 20 inches. Okay, in the train room. And so when I did here, I wanted to let shelf layout because I knew it was going to be at least 2 years before I got a big enough shed to build what I really want to build out in the backyard. And but I wanted something, and then I needed a workbench for workbench, and I also needed a workbench for hobby stuff. So I got 2 workbenches, one on each side of the garage. All right, and it makes life fun. Yeah, and he says I must be retired, and that is true. I am retired, and I spend probably a couple hours a day. I guarantee you, not more than 2 hours a day out here working on anything. I'm a very slow worker because I'm methodical. I like to think things through before I actually start the work. And with an engineering background, I have a tendency to be what's the old anal? And yeah, Hi says I'm lucky to have a garage. Yeah, no kidding. I wish I had a basement, or I wish I had Robert's shed. By the way, hi Robert.
I was going to say, what's a basement?
Yeah. Well, I grew up with a huge basement. I think back to the layout I could have built in that. The house wasn't that big, but it had a huge basement, and I could have had a hell of a layout there. And I tried to once. OCD, yeah, absolutely, Heath. I can be. Like I say, I'm methodical, and I'm not necessarily a detailed person. All right, which is more OCD-ish. because I got the engineering background, but my professional life was in food distribution, and everything was on low margins, high volume, low margins. So you couldn't afford to waste money. So efficiencies. I am very big into efficiencies. And when I see something going amiss, all right, I go nuts. All right. No offense to Heath, because I commend him on his efforts, but when he's building that shelf, I'm sitting there screaming at the TV, the bottom shelf upside down, and I'm typing away and banging on the keys. So and Heath knows it. That's why Heath will intentionally ignore me at times on streams because he knows I'm going nuts. Go ahead, Lynn.
I want to share a short story. Hi is mentioning, and I joke with him about caravan, because for the longest time he was talking about, working in the caravan. And to me, that's either a Dodge Caravan or that's a bunch of camels going across the desert. My daughter works for fiber optics now, but she used to work for a company called DirecTV. And she was in the customer relations. They actually called her the saver. When people were just so upset with DirecTV, they wanted to rip it out, throw it in the trash, and she had to convince them to save it and keep it and all this stuff. They had a system set up where you could buy a satellite dish and put it on your caravan mobile home. Uh-huh. They were outsourcing a lot of the calls to Asia. And this guy was just beyond pissed off. He was screaming mad at all the other operators. So she got to take the call. And he was trying to get it turned on, activated on his mobile home. And the person in Thailand or wherever was going, home's not mobile. Home's not mobile. She convinced the company maybe not a good idea to outsource these calls if they don't understand what's going on. She got a nice bonus out of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hate, there's two things I hate. Number one, somebody that I cannot understand, all right, on the phone. And I don't want to be sound racist or prejudiced or anything like that, because I'm really not. But if you've got customer service, the customer service people need to be able to be understandable by the people that are calling.
Right.
Okay. And if they're not customer service, they're customer frustration. So anyway, here nor there. And I don't care if they have an accent, as long as I can understand them. Okay. And, the other thing I hate is computerized customer service. And I just I hit, the first thing I do is I hit 0, because that's supposed to get you to a person, all right, on every system. It doesn't work on every system, but most systems, all you have to do is hit 0 and it takes you to a live individual. Most people don't.
No, you hit 0 like this. Beep, 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 0, 0, 0, 0.
See, I don't know why Bernard can hear me yelling at Heath and Heath can't hear me. Hey, Andy.
Heath has selective hearing.
No. It's anyway. So I can't wait till Heath builds a second bookshelf so I can be equally entertained and frustrated once again. What was it? There was something else he did that I had me pounding on the keyboard and yelling. Even my wife on Sunday night, she came back in the room like an hour later. Isn't he done with that yet? I'll do it for him. I can put that together.
Don't tell Heath. We had company over for dinner Sunday night, and we had dinner and came back and he was still working on that shelf.
Yeah. He makes a joke of, Oklahoma or Alabama. Hell, when my wife and I got married, we dated for a year and a half and knew each other a year before that. And keep in mind, I may sound like I'm from Oklahoma. I'm doing my Oklahoma hillbilly accent because I don't have teeth, which I was supposed to have yesterday, by the way, and they hadn't come in yet. The final. So hopefully next week I have teeth and I will begin to talk normal again. But anyway, getting back to my wife and I, when we first got married, I needed a dictionary because she speaks South Texan. All right. And I'm a city boy from Chicago. And even though I've lived all over the place and my speech patterns are all messed up, I'm still a city boy from Chicago. And now she doesn't have that accent as much anymore. Yes, we have dentists in Oklahoma. Granted, they're woodworkers because they make the dentures out of blocks of wood. Yes, I'm reading some of these comments with Heath and John Bennicky. So anyway, no, we have good dentists here in Oklahoma. Actually, the only thing we don't have is Chicago style pizza. So, but as I tell people, Oklahoma is the perfect blend of the Midwest and the Southwest. Okay. And if you haven't ever been to Oklahoma, you're missing out. Friendly people, clean, low crime, and inexpensive to live. All right. So, hey, actually, last year's survey of best places to retire, Oklahoma was number 2 behind Arkansas. Now it's number 3. I think West Virginia was number 2 last year. And anyway, something like that. We lived here for over 10 years back in the 90s, or for 10 years during the 90s, and love it. So what am I supposed to send a piece of to High? Oklahoma? Anyway, here nor there. So I do have a number of other things on order. So next week we'll promise to have some neat stuff to look at for mail call. We've gone way over the typical hour. We're at an hour and 43 right now. So Lynn, I want to thank you for joining us today. And more importantly, I want to thank you for all the stuff you sent me.
You're welcome.
And because that's cool. That oil derrick is going to be neat to build. I'll have to do a diorama on that. Actually, I've got a Retirement Railroad 2.5 that I got to start building. Once I have everything ballasted up there, and get it to in wire tucked under and all that, then I'll start. I'm not saying done, but get it to the point where I get my workbench here back and get all the lighting effects ready and so forth. Then I can start on 2.5, which is the speed matching layout that I've talked about in the past. Yeah, I could take you some places where they still use horses.
Have you noticed this back here?
What, the train running?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to that. And actually, we can go to that, but do this. There he goes.
Been running all morning. Amazing.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it earlier.
There's a couple of others parked here, but the way it's set up, I can only run one at a time without paying attention.
Hi, we'll have a new video out here in about 30 minutes. So his Friday video, which is always nice to watch. If you like the electronic stuff that he does, watch High, because he does even more amazing electronic stuff. And yeah, I'll tell you what, everybody talked about Oklahoma and the Dust Bowl, and yeah, it was back in the day. Did you know? Here's a fun fact for you. Minnesota is the state of 10,000 lakes, right? Everybody know that? The state saying 10,000 lakes for Minnesota. Did you know there are more miles of shoreline in Oklahoma than there are in Minnesota? And that's a fact. Okay. Why? Because during the Dust Bowl era, Oklahoma made, through the Roosevelt's New Deal, made all kinds of reservoirs. All right. So we have tons of lakes and recreation, greenery. It's not until you get like west of Oklahoma City that things flatten out to what you think of for Oklahoma. Up there goes the train again. Up near where Dennis from Otter Creek and Rio Grande. That area up there's kind of flat. All right. I was gonna say that, Heath, but I wanted to be kind. I didn't want to beat up on you too much. All right. So, that is the joy of your channel. It really is, that you're not afraid to tackle things, and you're not afraid of failure, because you'll just pick it back up and do it till you get it right. All right. And that's what makes your channel successful. All right. So that and your personality all tie in well together. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad 2.0. Again, I want to thank Lynn for his generosity once again. And I hope you all join us again next week. And
Didn't
remember,
want you to think I cut these.
and there's Lynn's curly cues. Hey, y'all have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.